Tarumbeta italia katika anga.
Like this. That is how the trumpet will sound.
Konene, so jana kuna vile Dinde Nyoro and Babu Owino walibaki wameenda kwa JKL, and it was a very interesting interview because ilifanya nikaanza kufikiria a few things. There are some things that they said that I was like, okay, maybe that makes sense. Other things I was like, nah, I don't think so. But wacha tusikize. So one of the things ile Babu aliulizwa ni which party he's going to be running on. Wacha tusikize hiyo part.
Babu, what party?
Jeff, let me come and then I explain this, because Babu's name is bigger than any political party in this country. If you go to Garissa, they know Babu Owino. Yeah. So I'm saying with a lot of humility, and allow me to be humble.
Yes.
Jeff, a story is told in the book of Matthew 25:14-30 that a master...
Jokcheza, mekuwa nikiwacha a bunch of his interviews. He knows how to play this religious card. And yes, this is going to earn him a lot of points. If you come to like Kenyans, because Kenyans tunakuwaga very emotional with our religion, and as long as someone is religious, then we assume that they are good people. So this is something that he's mastered, and I think he's mastered it even better than Ruto. Kumbuka Ruto alikuwa analia, this guy, man, like I've heard every time he's asked, like the book of Daniel, the book of what, the book of this read to sishtuke kusikia akisema the book of Habakkuk. But wacha tuendelee.
That a master had his 3 servants. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be crowned as a king at a nearby place. Then he called his 3 servants. To the first servant, he gave 5 minas. To the second servant, he gave 2 minas. And to the last servant, he gave 1 mina. Then he went. He was crowned a king, came back. Then he called the 3 servants and asked them, whatever I gave you, the little that I gave you, how did you spend it?
Yes.
The first servant said, you gave me 5. I doubled it, invested it, and here are the 10. And that servant was given 10 cities to take care of. The second servant said, you gave me 2. I've invested it, here are 4. He was given 4 cities to take care of. The last servant said, that master, I knew you. I knew that you're a very bad person. And I knew that if you come back, you would ask for your money. Therefore, I dug a hole and hid it. Here it is. Then the master did what? Sent away that servant, because that servant was an irresponsible servant, like Wama Dimples.
Damn, natiki hapo. Hapo alikuwa anataka kusmak Sakaja, and he came from very far. This servant. What I did not understand is your Jiminas. Okay, maybe I don't understand those 2 stories, and also it's 2025, but chattuendelee.
Like Wama Dimples. And that is why the saying goes, the little that you have shall be taken away from you and given to those who have. Jeff, I want to tell you that in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God himself. That is John 1:1. And lastly, Jeff, a seed has a potential of becoming a forest. When you take a seed and you plant it, that seed will be a tree. That tree will produce many fruits and seeds. Those seeds will produce many other trees. Those trees will form a forest. And I want to tell you today, Jeff, without blinking, that the juice is what the squeeze in Nairobi City County, that the Nairobi City County is a graveyard of garbage, is a cemetery of corruption.
Hizi vitu zote usikina agree, because ile place natoka jama naishi siku hizi, like ukitoka tu nje hivi kidogo tu naingia kwa barabara ni mavi. Kwa hiyo road, like if you go at the end of that road there is a hospital. If you go upige like on your right uteremke kidogo kabla utapita another hospital. Straight after the hospital is a petrol station, and straight after the petrol station right opposite there is another sewage that has busted. And you have to wonder, like, how is it rocket science just to make sure that sewages don't burst? I don't think so. And this is the level of incompetence that saa zingine Sakaja huwaga nayo mpaka unashindwa nayo, like we prioritize nonsense. And but this is not even just Sakaja, this is the whole national government and everything. Because pia, when's the last time we okay, wacha tuendelee.
And we must correct those wrongs. And today I will tell you, Jeff, And I tell you today, before the Almighty God, by God's grace, that we are going to be the next governor of Nairobi. But again, I will leave a window because I received around 9,000 messages, inbox. 9 million, not 9,000, 9 million, telling me to go for president. Then 8.9 telling me to go for governor. Then 5 million telling me that I tell Nini to be my deputy.
Okay, 9 million messages. Okay. I know it was a joke, but still, okay. And go for president? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think maybe Nairobi, this whole Mina's stories and what can work and people can forget easily. But these two people, right now, the problem that's happening in Kenya is tumesema tu Ruto ni mbaya. And since Ruto ni mbaya, everyone else is great. And we don't like check their history. Because to check the history, ya Babu, there's always going to be the question mark of if this guy has absolute power, what is he going to do with it? Is he going to turn violent like he did when he was an MP? What if he was a president and he could get away with it? What would happen? So that question mark is always going to be there. When it comes to Dede Nyoro is the guy who was telling us that we need to suspend the constitution. Why? Because at that point he used to support Uhuru and he wanted Uhuru to have absolute power. The minute walikosana Uhuru, now he wanted power to be checked. The same thing, the minute amekosana Ruto, he wants power checked. So I don't trust them like that. Unajua, for the average person who does not care about history, who's ilikuwa kitambo, saizi we just need Ruto gone. No, you have to convince me that you're going to be better than Ruto. I've not heard Ruto anywhere say that he's planning to suspend the constitution. We've said he's planning to do it, but he's never said it. With Dede Nyoro, we've heard him say, suspend the constitution. Oh, the dictatorship. Democracy doesn't work. And now all of a sudden, because we need to throw out Ruto, democracy works. So, I approach it with caution. But, tuendele.
Or, but you've seen even messages, they're saying between Dindi and Babu.
Yes.
Dindi can be president, Babu can be deputy.
Exactly.
Babu can be president, Dindi can be deputy. But by the end of the day, there's still a window.
There's a
that
window.
We can decide. And if we decide because we are two great leaders,
yes,
with number one, intellect, the qualities required, both of us, we have it. Number two, political acumen. Number three, we have the passion and energy to work for the people.
And you have youth on your side.
The youthful vote. Oh my.
Oh my.
And finish somebody.
So, okay. So I think this Babu being governor, I'm starting to see that because I don't know. If it was up to me, of course, nilikuwa nimesema Irongo Nyakera, but I feel like Irongo is not a politician. I've not seen him go out there. He needs to be behind anaitwa Gachagua, and that's going to keep him down. Not because Gachagua is a bad person, but you see, when you need someone else to push you, you'll never reach your full potential. You have to go out there and risk it all and be like, you know what, this is me, blah, blah, blah. So I've not seen him do that. And I think I expect Gachagua ndio amsaidie kumpeleka kwa ground. So that's his like weakness ikikam to yeye. So with that in mind, right now the favorite looks like it's Babu. Do I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be better than Nani. Anaitwa Nani? Sakaja has been so bad at this job. So do I think there'll be busted sewages everywhere when Babu is there? I don't think so. But do I think that if people decide to protest, there'll be goons in Tao like Sakaja? Yes. And that's the problem that I have ikikam to Babu. Najua kuna kuwaga na hiyo element ya question mark. Like if push comes to shove, what is he going to do? So there was that. And apart from that, of course, pia so hii interview alikuwa ni yeye na Dede, but sasa parts za Nani ndio zilikuwa more interesting because he's been through more drama. So one of the dramas that he went through ilikuwa drama yake na Robert Alai, and the same thing that I told you, the same thing that I think is going to win him the Nairobi governorship if he keeps doing it is ile out of nowhere. So Mwafrika, that day where were you going? You see, according to Samuel chapter 1 verse 2, blah 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 blah. Okay.
A gun on you.
Challenges of people pulling a gun on.
What was that about, real quick?
It is about this leadership, and that was an occupational hazard. And Jeff, I want to tell you that as Babu Owino, The way I handled myself is because some of us have come from far. We've seen what damage these things can cause. And at the same time, Jeff, if David in the Bible, who was anointed by Samuel, his own father Jesse never believed in him.
So hapo one thing lazima nipatie credit. Your place, we've seen what damage these things can done. That to a certain level is acknowledgement of DJ Volve. And I always hope, in my heart of hearts, I always hope that this guy learned something from that and that this guy would never go there again. But I always have the question mark. The question mark is always around the fact that he got away with it. And when you get away with something with zero consequences, there's always that urge of I can get away with it again. So kuna kuwaga na hiyo. But yes, that acknowledgement is something that I'll but tuendelee.
Jeff, because all his brothers were called, then Samuel said, there's someone missing here. The father did not remember that person and said, oh, there's one who is a shepherd. Bring that shepherd here. Jeff, if David would have been annoyed, if he would have become emotional that he wanted to dismiss or fight his father, he would have never been a king. The same time when he was going to the field to take lunch for his brothers who were going to fight Goliath, brothers told him, David, what are you doing here? You should be looking after the sheep. This is not your war. If he would have been emotional and fought his brothers, he would have never been a king. So sometimes, Jeff, the opinion of a sheep does not matter to a lion.
Damn. Okay. So is Alai the sheep in this David story? I don't know. Is Alai the sheep in this David story? Okay.
So what do we tell Robert Alai real quick? He's watching right now. What do you tell him?
Robert Alai is a leader, just like myself. And I want to tell you, Jeff, today, that I have no problems, not a single problem with Robert Alai. But I know there's a clearly cut pattern of violence that is being planned to be met on myself from the state. And it started at Kisumu, the sports ground, where one Raymond Omolo was organizing goons to beat me so that I don't go and view Baba's body. Number two.
Okay, that makes no sense. Raymond Omolo was not the biggest fan of Raila. So why would he organize goons to beat you up? That makes no sense to me. Of course, during politics, wasosamaga things that are wild. So this makes no sense. Do I believe that the government might mete out violence on this guy? Yes. Why? Because the national government also does not want to miss out on Nairobi. Because if you miss out on Nairobi, like Nairobi is very essential. There's only once that Nairobi imekuwa kwa the hands of the opposition. That was under Kidero. And it was a very hard time for Uhuru. So Uhuru made sure that Sonko ameingia, hoping that Igathe would run it. Of course, that didn't happen. Alafu pia Ruto made sure that Sakaja has won it. So Babu winning it, if he's not on Ruto's side, would be a headache to Ruto. So I might understand the state thing, but specifically Raymond Omolo Raila thing makes no sense to me, but stranger things have happened.
Two, at Baba's burial, goons were organized so that I could not access. The same Raymond Omolo employs Alai on a weekly basis, given 300,000 Kenya shillings. So, Jeff, the same time you saw what happened. So I know there's a pattern. So this is a war against the state. It is the state that is against me.
Are you worried for your health, for your safety?
Jeff, that is the least of my worries. Why? Because you and I, Jeff, at one point, we will leave. We will go. The question is, as you live, as you die, one day, because we will die, memento mori, that at the right time, everybody's time will come to pass. Before we die, the question is, what legacy do you want to leave?
So it's interesting. Nishona Alai posting about Raymond Omolo in very positive light. So in this case story at 300,000 per week, I'm there like, oh, could there be some truth in this? So I don't know. And actually don't know. I was very confident, but still makes no sense. This time here, Raila, the Raila thing is what makes very little sense to me. But that one would seem more like ODM, because kwa ODM there was that level of wanajua, like everyone stamping the authority and being like, you know what, we are the real owners of ODM. And for this guy to show up and start saying, things that he's been saying. He's been saying that, for example, he's bigger than the party. And, such stuff will rub a few people the wrong way. But, okay, what's that, tuendelee?
I want to leave a legacy of transforming lives to the better. I want to be that person that will change evil into good, will change challenges into solutions. That is the most important thing for me, but not about death. Death, even Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. And by the way, that is the last boss that I've had. I will never have any other boss again. That man, we never believed Raila could leave us. But Jeff, life is so fickle.
Yeah, I died too, at some point.
You died too the other day, but...
Kona shindwa vile sana sema alidedi ni of course social media. When he was going through, maybe, I don't know if it was his health struggles, people claim that alikuwa amededi. But yes, so kulikuwa na hii. And so we come to his story Alai. I don't know what to think, because Alai nishacheki lately. I think I saw at least one post of his where he talked really positively about Raymond. And I didn't know, I didn't connect anything your time, but now I don't know if anatakui, but history ya yeye what is it called, history ya yeye kutolewa gun, I don't think that's about Raymond. Ekonene, so the festive season is here. Na Lemfi wako na a very great offer kwako. Abaki umesign up ukitumia the promo code Ekonene, and on your first transaction ya $50 ukisend home, unabaki umepata a $20 sign up reward. Najua $20 sign up reward on your first transaction of $50 only. Why? Because it's the festive season. Baki umechangamka, tumia promo code Ekonene, ingia Lemfi, why? Upate the most competitive exchange rates. Alafu pia inakuwaga ni chap like transactions ziko instant. Changamka haraka, Lemfi, international payments for everyone. Ekonene. Fota saizi go back to hizi stories za nini, za inaitwa what jo, za Alai and Raymond, and I'm not saying that. What did I see? Let me see. Like right now, if I search Alai's page, napata where is the paper tigers called Raymond Omolo and Kitiki Kindure. Ilikuwa nini hiyo? Kindiki Kithure. Ikakuwa, I thought they said they are issued that result ASAP blah blah blah. So this was his post. Inaniambia ndio the latest. Then kulikuwa na hii place ingine, this is apparently the greatest achievement of Raymond Omolo, massacre of your community to prove that you're in power. So I don't know, this was let me see kama ni anatumia jina Omolo siku hizi, should that be the difference? I don't know. This is interesting. So this is a story I'm going to follow up on and see. But do I think that Alai, no, not Alai, that Babu na Dede coming together can shake Ruto? I don't think so. But do I think that Babu right now is a favorite for Nairobi? Yes, I'm starting to see that. It's one of the realities that I have to face. Do I think that maybe, just maybe, he'd do a better job than Sakaja? Yes, I think so. I think Sakaja, hii building could collapse. I don't even think Sakaja showed up hapa. I think I saw Jalas alikuja a lot of times, vile building will collapse, but I don't remember Sakaja showing up, and I don't know if Sakaja alikata kushow up juu ya nini, but yes, Sakaja kushow up. But yeah, nikicheki hapa stories za Raymond Omolo from Alai, I don't see 2025. Okay, I think I'd seen my own stuff, so I'm going to stick to what I'd said before. I don't see the reason why Raymond Omolo would be organizing this against Babu Owino. Do I think Babu is the favorite to be governor? Yes. He come to Dede Nyoro. This is what I don't know. Because I've heard people call him Kibaki Light. Watu wanamchocha sana. And as I always say, I'll never forgive you for saying that we should suspend the constitution. It's just one of those things that in my book is unforgivable. Najua, you can't be the sort of person who, when you're in power, constitution si muhimu. As soon as you're out and you're in the opposition, then the constitution becomes important. So the fact that he said that will always stay with me, and that's the reason why I'll always remind people, because kuna soja mingine kisha nikiremind wase. But yes, that shows your true character when you're in power. when you have all those instruments of power on your side, how you use them and how you talk about them says more about you than when you're in the opposition. But now, talking of power, of course, UDA na ODM, they are trying to work something together. And yeah, I think Ruto held some meeting where they were trying to talk about the way forward. It's going to be interesting what they come up with, because will ODM want the vice president position, because that's one of the most, in quotes, useless positions ever. Ruto was able to turn it into something, but will anyone else ever turn it into something? I highly doubt. Or will ODM, will they want more cabinet positions? What will they want? I don't know, but wacha tusikize.
The United Democratic Alliance National Executive Council meeting has endorsed coalition talks with the Orange Democratic Movement Party, ODM, in a meeting chaired by its party leader William Ruto in State House, Nairobi. The NEC mandated party leader President William Ruto to establish mechanisms for structured engagement with the ODM party to achieve the desired outcome. UDA NEC says the talks seek to strengthen the ongoing political partnership and negotiate a coalition agreement ahead of the 2027 general election. The meeting was also attended by UDA Deputy Party Leader and Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki.
Nashindo, why were they that Ruto iko? Why were they that serious? But yes, kuna hiyo they're trying to keep power. In Africa still, unajua, remove an incumbent inakuwa like one of the hardest things ever. So let's see if it happens this time, najua. So yeah, wacha tuone kama ita happen this time. But yeah, it's, we are living in very interesting times, very interesting times. But kimalizia nicheki story gani jo? Nicheki kuna hii story nilicheki. This is a very Kenyan story. Ilikuwa ni 2 brothers arrested in 5 billion Mau Narok land dispute, and this is one of those stories where inaitangua cojones. Yes, people have cojones out here, because nasemekana hasa wawili, these 2 brothers, they used to work on a certain farm, and then at some point they decided that they are going to claim that it's theirs, and it's their father who had owned it at some point. And ilikuwa story so wacha nicheki, ilikuwa kwa DCI Kenya pia. So DCI Kenya alikuwa ameandikani 2 arrested in Mau Narok land fraud case. Kwa detectives from the Land Fraud Investigations Unit have apprehended 2 individuals in connection with the fraudulent acquisition of a prime piece of land valued at approximately 5 billion in Mau Narok, Njoro sub-county. Investigations has since unveiled that this land, which measures around 4,296 acres, was purchased from the rightful owner from Class Kenya Farming Limited Fund trustees for 5 million, as documented in an agreement dated June 13th, 1977. So damn, in less than 50 years, the land may move from 5 million to 5 billion. Damn, okay. For years, the land has been embroiled in a legal dispute between the 2 suspects, Josephat Munke Olempoi and Joseph Kakore Olempoi, who are brothers and the rightful owner. Okay, so they want to fight the rightful owner. The brothers purport that the land belonged to their late father, Kikenyi Olempoi, based on a forged title grant. In a dubious turn of events, the brothers obtained limited grant letters of administration from the High Court in Nakuru on March 23, 2023, under the pretense of claiming interest in the property. However, the Land Fraud Investigation Unit detectives uncovered that the brothers were previously farm managers on the property and that the title they presented is a complete forgery. So hizi raya mbili zilikuwa the farm managers, and then they saw an opportunity and decided they were going to go for it. And in the country that we live in, I don't think I can judge them. I think that's a sort of place to mecheki. And remember, even the president had a case where he'd grabbed 100 acres, some guy called Muteshi, when he was still the deputy president, and that land had to be taken away from him. So to a certain level, I understand. I understand the nonsense, and I understand why tunakuaga hivyo. So yeah, that's it. So I don't know, man. These 2 brothers, did they get a chance and decide to pounce on it? Did they do the Kenyan thing? Do they deserve the maximum sentence? That's the one thing ile sijui. Najua nimeishi kwa hii nchi long enough to know that 9 out of 10 people would do the same thing these two guys did. But kama kawa vile musemaga, amkeni asubuhi, there is some lawyers waiting to make money from the Kenya government and they are waiting for you to pay those taxes. Ndio wabaki represent serikali ya Kenya. Alafu that 1 billion that's supposed to be spent in maybe upgrading a hospital somewhere will be paid to an individual. Ama worse yet, that 1 billion will be used to repair maybe the mats at State House. Something, najua. So amka, endo tafute pesa. Iko nene.